Well, thanks for joining us for another episode of Money TV. I'm Don Baillargeon, so glad you could be with us. Money TV, of course, is the program all about money and what makes it happen. Well, no one really saw it coming this week as the Federal Reserve announced they would be continuing to buy $85 billion per month in bonds and other asset purchases with no sign of tapering on the horizon. Now, the majority of financial analysts had expected some degree of tapering, and the mortgage and stock markets were already geared up for it, but it just didn't happen. Now, according to Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke, economic data does not yet warrant a reduction in purchases. Now, that's Fed speak, for the economic recovery is not nearly as rosy as some people in Washington would like you to believe. Now, Bernanke noted, among other factors, a continuing decline in the labor participation rate. Now, that takes into account not only the unemployment rate, but those people who have been unemployed for so long they've simply stopped looking. This week was a tale of two perspectives. Earlier in the week, while a deranged gunman was on a shooting rampage at a Navy shipyard in Washington, D.C., the president was giving a speech touting what he considered to be his economic accomplishments during the last 5 years. Now, listening to that speech, one would have thought everything was rosy. Listening to Ben Bernanke 3 days later, it was a carefully worded yet completely opposing viewpoint. It comes down to who you believe or who you want to believe. The government is going to be shut down by the end of the month unless Congress can agree on yet another debt limit deal, and this time the House appears to have dug its heels in for a fight, wanting Obamacare concessions and spending limits as part of any deal. It's a risky battle for both sides, as neither the House nor the Senate wants to be the one holding up any agreement when the clock runs out at midnight on September 30th. Democrats like to point out the cuts to programs as a result of the $85 billion cuts from the sequester deal, but the Fed spends that much every month buying bonds and assets to keep the economy propped up. Republicans, on the other hand, respond by saying the U.S. Treasury collected more money in taxes last year than at any time in history, yet the government still managed to spend over $1 trillion more than they took in. All of this is very easy to understand if you think of it in simple terms like this. If a family or a business ran their finances like the federal government, the family would be out on the street and the business would be out of business. Now, here's something you don't have to worry about. It's our toll-free number, good from anywhere in the world you're watching the program, 888-259-4449, to get free information about our featured guests. When you do call, be sure and ask to be added to the subscription list of our Money TV newsletter. Again, toll-free, 888-259-4449. On your mobile phone, just text Money TV to go 800 or 46800. Be sure to visit us at moneytv.net. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.